There comes a moment, often in the quiet before dawn, when the world is still and your mind is loud. In that moment, you ask yourself, what am I really doing here? Is it just about the money, the numbers, the deals, the grind? Or is there something deeper, something that can't be measured in dollars or counted on a spreadsheet? This is the question that separates the truly great from the merely successful. This is the question that built empires, that forged legends, that turned ordinary men and women into titans of history. You see, money is a tool. It's a scorecard, a resource, a means to an end. But purpose is the fire. Purpose is the engine. Purpose is the reason you get up when the world says stay down. It's the reason you keep building when the critics say you're finished. It's the reason you look in the mirror and see not just who you are, but who you're destined to become. Think of Edison working by candlelight, burning through 1,000 failures to bring light to the world. Think of Carnegie, the poor Scottish immigrant who saw not just steel, but the backbone of a nation. Think of Disney, who saw a mouse and imagined a kingdom. These men were not driven by money alone. They were driven by vision, by belief, by an unshakable sense of purpose that made them unstoppable. And yet in today's world, we're told to chase the quick win, the easy dollar, the shortcut. We're told to measure our worth by likes, by followers, by fleeting applause. But the truth, the real, unvarnished truth, is that greatness is never accidental. It is never the result of luck or circumstance. It is the product of relentless clarity, of iron discipline, of a mind that refuses to settle for anything less than extraordinary. You want to wake up rich? Start by waking up rich in purpose. Start by asking yourself every single day, what am I building? Who am I becoming? What legacy am I leaving behind? Because when you have purpose, money follows. When you have purpose, people follow. When you have purpose, the world bends to your will. Mindset is the foundation. It is the soil in which every dream is planted. If your mind is weak, your results will be weak. If your mind is strong, there is nothing you cannot achieve. This is not theory. This is not wishful thinking. This is the law of the universe, proven by every giant who ever walked the earth. Abraham Lincoln, born in a log cabin, self-educated, ridiculed, defeated in election after election, but his mind was unbreakable, his vision was unshakable. He saw not just what was, but what could be. He saw a nation divided and imagined it united. He saw darkness and imagined light. That is the power of mindset. That is the power of belief. You must become the architect of your own mind. You must guard it like a fortress. You must feed it with ideas, with ambition, with the stories of those who came before you and built something from nothing. You must reject the voices of doubt, the whispers of fear, the poison of mediocrity, because the world will try to pull you down. The world will try to convince you that you are small, that you are powerless, that you are just another face in the crowd. But you are not. You are a force of nature. You are a creator. You are a builder. Clarity is your compass. Without it, you are lost. Without it, you wander through life, chasing shadows, mistaking movement for progress. But with clarity, every step is deliberate. Every action is aligned. Every day becomes a brick in the foundation of your legacy. Ask yourself, what do I want? Not what do others want for me. Not what is safe or easy or expected. What do I want? What sets my soul on fire? What would I do if I knew I could not fail? Write it down, speak it out loud, make it real. Because clarity is not a gift, it is a decision. It is a commitment to yourself, to your future, to the life you were born to live. Vision is the art of seeing the invisible. It is the ability to look at a barren field and see a skyscraper, to look at a blank canvas and see a masterpiece, to look at your own life with all its flaws and failures and see the seeds of greatness. Henry Ford was told, it couldn't be done. The experts laughed at the idea of a car for the masses. But Ford saw what others could not. He saw a world transformed by mobility, by freedom, by the power of innovation. He saw the future and he built it. That is vision. That is the difference between a leader and a follower, between a dreamer and a doer. Purpose is the fuel that keeps you going when the world says stop. It is the reason you endure the pain, the setbacks, the sleepless nights. It is the reason you keep moving forward even when the path is unclear. Barack Obama, a young man with a funny name, told he would never make it, told he was too different, too inexperienced, too audacious. But he had purpose. He had a mission. He believed in something bigger than himself, and that belief changed the world. Discipline is the bridge between goals and achievement. It is the daily practice, the relentless commitment, the refusal to quit. It is waking up early when you want to sleep. It is working late when you want to rest. It is doing what needs to be done, not just when you feel like it, but especially when you don't. Napoleon Hill wrote, "Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. But belief without action is nothing. Dreams without discipline are just fantasies. You must be willing to pay the price. You must be willing to do what others won't, so you can live how others can't." Action is the antidote to fear. It is the cure for doubt. It is the only way to turn vision into reality. The world is full of talkers, of planners, of dreamers. But the world is changed by doers, by men and women who take bold, decisive action, who move forward in the face of uncertainty, who refuse to wait for permission or approval. Gratitude is the secret weapon of the truly rich. It is the ability to see abundance where others see scarcity. It is the ability to appreciate the journey, not just the destination. It is the ability to find joy in the struggle, to celebrate the small wins, to give thanks for every lesson, every challenge, every opportunity. Adaptability is the key to survival. The world is changing faster than ever. Technology, markets, politics, everything is in flux. The old rules no longer apply. The only constant is change. Those who adapt, who embrace uncertainty, who see opportunity in chaos, these are the ones who thrive. Resilience is the ability to get knocked down and get back up, to face rejection, failure, criticism, and keep moving forward. It is the refusal to be defined by your setbacks, the determination to turn every obstacle into a stepping stone. Leadership is not a title. It is not a position. It is a responsibility. It is the willingness to stand up, to speak out, to take risks, to inspire others to greatness. It is the courage to make tough decisions, to hold yourself and others to the highest standard, to lead by example. Learning is the never-ending journey. The world belongs to those who are always growing, always evolving, always seeking new knowledge, new skills, new perspectives. The moment you stop learning, you start dying. And so as you listen to these words, as you feel the fire building inside you, remember this: you were not born to be average. You were not born to play small. You were born to build, to create, to lead, to leave a mark on this world that will outlast you. Wake up rich in purpose, not just money, because when you have purpose, you have everything. The world will try to convince you otherwise. It will whisper in your ear that you're too late, too old, too young, too inexperienced, too different. It will parade its doubts and fears in front of you, dressed up as logic, as reason, as practicality. But history is not written by the practical. History is written by the bold, by the relentless, by those who refuse to accept the limits imposed by others. Look at the skyline of any great city. Every tower, every monument, every bridge is a testament to the power of human will. None of it was inevitable. None of it was easy. Every brick was laid by someone who dared to dream bigger, to see farther, to believe deeper. The world you see around you is the residue of visionaries who refused to settle for what was handed to them. You must become one of them. You must become the architect of your own destiny. That means taking full responsibility for your life. No excuses, no blame, no waiting for someone else to give you permission. The moment you decide that your life is yours and yours alone, you become unstoppable. You become the kind of person who shapes the world, not the kind who is shaped by it. Responsibility is not a burden. It is a privilege. It is the foundation of freedom. When you own your choices, your actions, your results, you unlock a power that most people never experience. You stop being a passenger and become the driver. You stop reacting and start creating. You stop wishing and start building. This is the mindset of the greats. This is the mindset of Trump, of Rockefeller, of Oprah, of anyone who ever turned adversity into advantage. They did not wait for the perfect moment. They did not wait for the stars to align. They acted, they adapted, they persisted. They understood that the world rewards those who move, who risk, who dare. But let's be clear, purpose is not found in comfort. Purpose is not found in the easy path. It is forged in the fire of challenge, in the crucible of adversity. Every setback, every failure, every disappointment is a test of your resolve, your character, your commitment. Most people shrink from these tests. They retreat, they complain, they give up. But the few, the rare, the truly great, they rise. They use adversity as fuel. They turn pain into power. Think of Thomas Edison, who failed over 1,000 times before inventing the light bulb. Each failure was not a defeat, but a lesson. Each setback was not an end, but a beginning. He understood that the only real failure is the failure to try, the failure to persist, the failure to believe. You must develop this same resilience. You must become immune to discouragement, indifferent to criticism, relentless in your pursuit. The world will try to break you, to bend you, to make you doubt yourself. But you must stand firm. You must remember who you are and what you are here to do. Purpose is not a luxury. It is a necessity. It is the difference between a life of quiet desperation and a life of roaring achievement. It is the difference between existing and truly living. When you have purpose, you have energy. You have focus. You have a reason to get up in the morning and a reason to keep going when the night is long and the road is hard. But purpose alone is not enough. You must pair it with discipline. You must build habits that support your vision, routines that reinforce your goals. Success is not a one-time event. It is the result of daily choices, daily actions, daily sacrifices. It is the product of consistency, of showing up day after day, year after year, long after the excitement has faded and the applause has died down. Discipline is doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. It is saying no to distractions, to temptations, to the easy way out. It is holding yourself to a higher standard, refusing to settle for mediocrity, demanding excellence from yourself in everything you do. This is how empires are built. This is how fortunes are made. Not by luck, not by chance, but by relentless, disciplined action. By doing the hard things, the boring things, the things no one else wants to do. By outworking, outlasting, outthinking everyone around you. But discipline without gratitude is empty. It becomes a grind, a burden, a joyless pursuit. That's why you must cultivate gratitude, not just for the big wins, but for the small moments, the daily progress, the lessons learned along the way. Gratitude turns work into worship, struggle into strength, obstacles into opportunities. When you are grateful, you see abundance everywhere. You see possibilities where others see problems. You see blessings where others see burdens. Gratitude is the antidote to entitlement, to bitterness, to cynicism. It keeps you humble, it keeps you hungry, it keeps you moving forward. And as you move forward, you must remain adaptable. The world is changing faster than ever before. What worked yesterday may not work tomorrow. The rules are being rewritten, the game is being changed. Those who cling to the past, who resist change, who refuse to evolve, they are left behind. But those who adapt, who innovate, who embrace the new, they rise to the top. Adaptability is not about abandoning your principles. It is about finding new ways to express them, new ways to win, new ways to serve. It is about staying true to your purpose while being flexible in your approach. It is about learning, growing, evolving always. And when the storms come, as they always do, you must be resilient. You must be unbreakable. You must refuse to let setbacks define you, to let failures defeat you, to let criticism diminish you. Resilience is the ability to bend without breaking, to fall without failing, to lose without quitting. Every great leader, every great entrepreneur, every great human being has faced moments of doubt, of fear, of despair. But they did not give in, they did not give up, they kept going, kept fighting, kept believing. And in the end, they triumphed, not because they were the smartest or the luckiest or the most talented, but because they were the most resilient. Leadership is the ultimate test. It is not about power or position. It is about service, about sacrifice, about setting an example. It is about lifting others up, inspiring them to greatness, helping them see what is possible. True leaders do not create followers. They create more leaders. And the greatest leaders are always learning. They are always seeking new knowledge, new skills, new perspectives. They are humble enough to admit what they don't know, brave enough to ask for help, wise enough to listen. Learning is not a phase. It is not a box to check or a diploma to hang on the wall. It is a way of life. The world's most powerful minds, Carnegie, Ford, Jobs, Trump, never stopped learning. They devoured books, sought out mentors, studied their competition, and learned from every mistake. They understood that knowledge is leverage, that wisdom is wealth, that the mind is the greatest asset you will ever own. But learning is not just about gathering information. It is about transformation. It is about taking what you know and turning it into what you do. It is about applying, experimenting, failing, and trying again. The world is full of educated fools, people who know everything and do nothing. Don't be one of them. Be a doer, be a builder, be a creator. Every day, ask yourself, what did I learn? How did I grow? What new skill, new insight, new perspective did I gain? And then more importantly, how will I use it? How will I turn knowledge into action, action into results, results into legacy? Legacy. That is the word that echoes through the halls of history. That is the word that outlives money, outlasts fame, outshines every temporary victory. Legacy is what you leave behind when the deals are done, when the lights go out, when the world moves on. It is the impact you have on others, the example you set, the lives you touch. Donald Trump once said, if you're going to be thinking anyway, you might as well think big. That is the essence of legacy. It is not about playing small, not about fitting in, not about doing what's expected. It is about thinking big, acting bold, living with such intensity and conviction that the world cannot ignore you. But legacy is not built in a day. It is built in the quiet moments, in the daily choices, in the way you treat people when no one is watching. It is built in the risks you take, the stands you make, the values you refuse to compromise. It is built in the courage to be yourself, to speak your truth, to pursue your vision even when it's unpopular, even when it's misunderstood. You must decide right now what kind of legacy you want to leave. Do you want to be remembered as someone who played it safe, who followed the crowd, who settled for less? Or do you want to be remembered as someone who dared, who dreamed, who built something that mattered? Purpose is the foundation of legacy. When you live with purpose, you inspire others to do the same. When you pursue your vision with passion and discipline, you give others permission to pursue theirs. When you refuse to give up, you show others what is possible. But purpose is not a solitary pursuit. It is not about climbing to the top alone. It is about lifting others as you rise, about building teams, about creating opportunities for those around you. The greatest leaders are not remembered for what they achieved, but for what they helped others achieve. Think of the people who changed your life, the teachers, the mentors, the friends, the family members. They may not have been rich or famous, but they had purpose. They believed in you, challenged you, inspired you. They left a mark on your soul. That is legacy. So, as you build your empire, as you chase your dreams, never forget the power you have to impact others. Never forget that every word, every action, every decision is a chance to lead, to serve, to inspire. Never forget that your purpose is bigger than you. And yet, purpose without courage is powerless. The world will test you, it will push back, it will try to intimidate you, to silence you, to make you doubt yourself. You must be brave, you must be willing to stand alone, to speak up, to take risks. You must be willing to fail, to fall, to get back up and try again. Courage is not the absence of fear, it is the mastery of it. It is the decision to act in spite of fear, to move forward when every instinct says turn back. It is the willingness to be uncomfortable, to be vulnerable, to be exposed, because only in those moments do you discover who you really are. Every great achievement in history was born of courage. The courage to dream, the courage to begin, the courage to persist, the courage to say, I will not be denied, I will not be defeated, I will not settle for anything less than greatness. But courage is not a one-time act. It is a habit, a muscle, a way of life. You build it by facing your fears, by doing the hard things, by refusing to let comfort dictate your destiny. You build it by taking action, by making decisions, by moving forward even when the outcome is uncertain. And as you build your courage, you build your confidence. Confidence is not arrogance. It is not bravado. It is the quiet, unshakable belief in your own ability to figure things out, to overcome, to win. It is the result of preparation, of discipline, of relentless effort. Confidence is magnetic. It attracts opportunities, resources, people. It inspires trust, loyalty, respect. It gives you the power to negotiate, to persuade, to lead. But confidence is not given, it is earned. It is built day by day through action, through results, through the relentless pursuit of excellence. Excellence, that is the standard, not perfection, not mediocrity, not good enough. Excellence, the commitment to do your best, to give your all, to leave nothing on the table, the willingness to go the extra mile, to pay the price, to demand more from yourself than anyone else ever could. Excellence is not a destination, it is a journey. It is a way of life. It is the refusal to settle, the hunger to improve, the drive to be better today than you were yesterday. It is the discipline to do the right thing, even when no one is watching, even when it's hard, even when it costs you. And when you live with excellence, you inspire others to do the same. You raise the standard. You set the example. You become a beacon of possibility, a source of hope, a leader worth following. But excellence, like purpose, is not a solitary pursuit. It thrives in the company of others who share your hunger, your drive, your vision. Surround yourself with people who challenge you, who push you, who refuse to let you settle for less than your best. Build your inner circle with care, with intention, with the understanding that you become the average of those you spend the most time with. Look at every titan of industry, every world leader, every game changer in history. They all understood the power of association. Carnegie had his mastermind group. Trump built teams that could move mountains. Even Edison, the lone inventor, was surrounded by brilliant minds who sharpened his ideas and fueled his ambition. Greatness is never achieved in isolation. It is forged in the fires of collaboration, competition, and camaraderie. But choose wisely. There will always be those who want to pull you down, who resent your ambition, who fear your success. There will be naysayers, doubters, critics, people who see your drive as a threat to their comfort. Do not let them infect your mind with their limitations. Do not let their small thinking become your reality. Protect your vision, guard your purpose. Surround yourself with those who see the world not as it is, but as it could be. And as you build your circle, remember the power of humility. True greatness is never loud, never boastful, never desperate for attention. It is quiet, confident, rooted in the knowledge that there is always more to learn, always another level to reach. The greatest leaders are the greatest listeners. They seek out feedback, they welcome criticism, they are always looking for ways to improve. Humility is not weakness. It is strength under control. It is the ability to admit when you are wrong, to learn from your mistakes, to give credit where credit is due. It is the foundation of trust, the glue that holds teams together, the mark of a leader who is secure in their own skin. But humility must be balanced with boldness. The world does not reward timidity. It does not remember those who played it safe, who waited for permission, who hid their light under a bushel. The world remembers the bold, the daring, the audacious, the ones who took risks, who made waves, who refused to be ignored. Donald Trump once said, if you're going to be thinking anyway, you might as well think big. That is the call to arms for every person who wants to leave a mark on this world. Think big, dream big, act big, refuse to be limited by the small minds and small dreams of others. Refuse to let fear dictate your destiny. But boldness without wisdom is recklessness. It is the difference between a calculated risk and a foolish gamble. The greats are not reckless. They are strategic. They study the game, they know the rules, they understand the terrain, they prepare, they plan, they position themselves for victory. And when the moment comes, they strike with precision, with confidence, with unstoppable force. Preparation is the secret weapon of the successful. It is the hours spent in the dark, the work done when no one is watching, the relentless pursuit of mastery. It is the willingness to do what others won't, to go where others can't, to become what others only dream of. Preparation turns fear into confidence, doubt into certainty, potential into power. But even the best laid plans will be tested. The market will shift. The competition will adapt. The world will throw curveballs you never saw coming. This is where adaptability becomes your greatest asset. The ability to pivot, to adjust, to reinvent yourself and your strategy in real time. The willingness to let go of what no longer works, to embrace the new, to stay ahead of the curve. Look at the history of business, of politics, of life itself. The winners are not always the strongest or the smartest. They are the most adaptable. They are the ones who see change not as a threat, but as an opportunity. They are the ones who reinvent themselves, who evolve, who stay relevant no matter what the world throws at them. But adaptability is not about chasing every trend, about abandoning your principles at the first sign of trouble. It is about staying true to your purpose while being flexible in your approach. It is about knowing who you are, what you stand for, and where you are going, no matter how many times the path changes. And as you adapt, as you grow, as you push forward, never lose sight of gratitude. Gratitude is the anchor that keeps you grounded, the light that guides you through the darkest nights. It is the ability to see the good in every situation, to find the lesson in every setback, to appreciate the journey as much as the destination. Gratitude turns obstacles into opportunities, setbacks into stepping stones, failures into fuel. It keeps you humble in victory, resilient in defeat, and hungry for more. It reminds you that every day is a gift, every challenge is a blessing, every moment is an opportunity to become more than you were yesterday. And as you move through life with purpose, with discipline, with gratitude, you will inspire others to do the same. You will become a beacon of hope, a source of strength, a leader worth following. You will leave a legacy that outlasts money, outshines fame, and outlives every temporary victory. Because in the end, it is not about the money. It is not about the titles, the trophies, the applause. It is about the impact you have, the lives you touch, the difference you make. It is about waking up every day rich in purpose, not just money. There is a power that comes from living this way, a power that cannot be bought, cannot be faked, cannot be taken away. It is the power of conviction, the power of knowing that you are living for something greater than yourself. It is the power that radiates from every word you speak, every action you take, every goal you pursue. People feel it. They are drawn to it. They want to be a part of it. Conviction is the invisible force that moves mountains, that bends reality, that turns dreams into destiny. It is the reason some people walk into a room and change the energy, command attention, inspire action. They are not guessing, they are not hoping, they are certain. They are driven by a purpose so clear, so powerful that nothing can shake them. But conviction is not born overnight. It is forged in the fires of experience, in the crucible of challenge, in the relentless pursuit of truth. It is built by making decisions, standing by them, and learning from the results. It is strengthened every time you choose integrity over convenience, every time you do what is right instead of what is easy. Integrity is the foundation of all greatness. It is the bedrock upon which empires are built, the glue that holds relationships together, the currency that buys trust. Without integrity, all the money in the world is worthless. Without integrity, success is hollow, fleeting, empty. But with it, you become unstoppable. You become a force for good, a leader people want to follow, a person people want to trust. And trust is the most valuable asset you will ever own. It cannot be bought. It must be earned, day by day, choice by choice, action by action. It is built in the small moments, in the promises kept, in the words matched by deeds. It is lost in an instant, but it is built over a lifetime. So guard your integrity, protect your reputation, let your word be your bond, let your actions speak louder than your words. Let your life be a testament to the power of character, the strength of conviction, the beauty of purpose. But do not mistake integrity for rigidity. The world is full of people who are so attached to being right that they never grow, never change, never evolve. True integrity is the courage to admit when you are wrong, the humility to learn from your mistakes, the wisdom to change course when necessary. It is the ability to hold fast to your principles while remaining open to new ideas, new perspectives, new possibilities. This is the balance that every great leader must master. The balance between conviction and curiosity, between certainty and openness, between strength and flexibility. It is the balance that allows you to stand firm in your values while adapting to a world that never stops changing. And as you walk this path, you will face moments of doubt, moments of fear, moments when the world seems to be against you. In those moments, remember this: you are not alone. Every great person who ever lived has walked through the valley of doubt, has faced the darkness of uncertainty, has battled the demons of fear. But they did not let those moments define them. They did not let fear dictate their destiny. They used it as fuel, as motivation, as a reminder of what was at stake. They understood that fear is not the enemy. It is a signal, a challenge, an invitation to grow. So when fear comes, welcome it. Look it in the eye. Ask it what it has to teach you. Use it to sharpen your focus, to strengthen your resolve, to remind you of the importance of your mission. Because the only thing more powerful than fear is purpose. The only thing more enduring than doubt is belief.
Belief is the engine of achievement. It is the spark that ignites action, the force that sustains effort, the light that guides you through the darkest nights. When you believe in yourself, in your vision, in your purpose, you become unstoppable. You become a magnet for opportunity, a beacon for others, a leader worth
following. But belief must be earned. It must be built, brick by brick, through action, through discipline, through results. It is not enough to wish, to hope, to dream. You must do. You must act. You must prove to yourself day after day that you are worthy of your dreams. And as you do, your belief will grow. It will become unshakable, unbreakable, undeniable. It will become the foundation upon which you build your life, your business, your legacy. But belief is not just about you. It is about the people you lead, the teams you build, the communities you serve. Your belief becomes their belief. Your vision becomes their vision. Your purpose becomes their purpose. This is the true power of leadership, the ability to inspire others to believe in themselves, to see what is possible, to reach for greatness. Leadership is not about control. It is about empowerment. It is about creating an environment where others can thrive, where ideas can flourish, where dreams can become reality. It is about setting the standard, raising the bar, demanding excellence from yourself and everyone around you. And the best leaders are always learning, always growing, always evolving. They are never satisfied, never complacent, never content to rest on their laurels. They are driven by a hunger for more, a hunger for knowledge, for growth, for impact. This hunger is what separates the great from the good, the extraordinary from the ordinary. the leaders from the followers. It is the fire that burns in your belly, the voice that whispers, there is more, you can do more, you can be more. Feed that hunger, nurture it. Let it drive you, push you, pull you forward. Let it be the force that propels you through every obstacle, every setback, every challenge. Because in the end, it is not the smartest, the strongest, or the luckiest who win. It is the hungriest, the ones who want it most, who are willing to pay the price, who refuse to give up. So ask yourself right now, in this moment of truth, how hungry are you? How deep does your desire run? How far are you willing to go for the life you know you were born to live? Because the world will not hand you greatness. It will not deliver purpose to your doorstep wrapped in a bow. It will test you, challenge you, demand everything you have and more. And that is exactly as it should be. Because nothing worth having comes easy. Nothing lasting is built overnight. The greatest rewards are reserved for those who refuse to quit, who refuse to compromise, who refuse to settle for anything less than the extraordinary. You must become relentless. You must become unstoppable. You must become the kind of person who, when your feet hit the floor in the morning, the world takes notice. The kind of person who lives with such intensity, such clarity, such purpose, that you inspire everyone around you to rise higher, to dream bigger, to become more. This is not about ego. This is not about proving the doubters wrong or silencing the critics. This is about fulfilling your destiny. This is about honoring the gifts you've been given, the opportunities you've been handed, the life you've been entrusted with. This is about waking up every day and choosing to live with purpose, to act with conviction, to lead with courage. You are the author of your story. You are the builder of your legacy. You are the architect of your future. The world is waiting for you to step up, to claim your place, to make your mark. Do not wait for permission. Do not wait for the perfect moment. Do not wait for someone else to tell you it's your time. Your time is now. Your moment is here. Your purpose is calling. And when you answer that call, when you rise to the challenge, when you refuse to back down, when you give everything you have and then some, you will discover a power within you that you never knew existed. You will discover that you are capable of more than you ever imagined. You will discover that the only limits that matter are the ones you place on yourself. So break free, break through, break out of the prison of doubt, of fear, of mediocrity. Step into the arena. Take your shot. Swing for the fences. Build your empire, not just for the money, not just for the fame, but for the purpose that burns in your soul. Because when you live with purpose, you become a force of nature. You become a leader, a creator, a visionary. You become the kind of person who changes the world, not by accident, not by luck, but by design. And as you build, as you lead, as you inspire, remember this: the true measure of wealth is not found in your bank account, but in your impact. It is not found in what you accumulate, but in what you contribute. It is not found in what you take, but in what you give. Wake up rich in purpose, not just money. Wake up with a fire in your belly, a vision in your mind, a mission in your heart. Wake up ready to build, to serve, to lead, to love. Wake up knowing that you are here for a reason, that your life matters, that your dreams are worth fighting for. And when the day comes that you look back on your life, when the deals are done, the battles are fought, the victories are won, you will not measure your success by the size of your fortune, but by the size of your impact. You will not count your wealth in dollars, but in lives changed, in dreams realized, in legacies left behind. This is the ultimate reward. This is the true meaning of greatness. This is what it means to wake up rich in purpose, not just money. So go. Build your dream, live your purpose, lead with courage, love with passion, give with generosity, and never ever settle for less than the life you were born to live. The world is waiting. Your destiny is calling. Wake up rich in purpose and watch as everything else follows.